How you doing, guys? This is your old buddy Pat out here on this nice November fall day. This is my new place. This is my new backyard. And this is my new ride. My nice Dodge Ram. And I got a bunch of new kitties here too. But the main thing I wanted to show you guys, is what I just bought. Right now, like I said, I'm waiting for my shop to be finished. I'm working on that. That's why I'm outside here, because I need something, a big area with lighting, so I can show you guys what I got. And look what I got. Behold, Dynam Grand Cruiser. But this isn't any regular Grand Cruiser. This is version 3. Version 3 of the Grand Cruiser, yes. Don't mind the gloves, my hands are a little chilly here. Let's set this camera down so I can show you guys this nice little unboxing. And let's see, you guys can see I'm on the tailgate of my pick-em-up truck. There we go, you should be able to see everything. Now let me give you a little bit of history. By the way, I'm doing a lot better. I lost 125 pounds within the last year and a half. So I'm doing a lot better. Still working, unfortunately, but hey, you know we all have to work now. Anyway, let's give you a little bit of history. My first love of airplanes started when I was a little kid back in the 70s, growing up in the 70s. There used to be this cartoon on by Hanna-Barbera, an old 60s cartoon called the Skyhawks. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll look for Skyhawks cartoon, old Saturday morning cartoon. And it was about a family of pilots, kids to included, maintenance workers. They owned their own airport, and they were always hired to fly cargo, whatever. And it was each flight was an adventure. And the leader, who was the father, he flew a Cessna 310. The Dynam Grand Cruiser is modeled after the Cessna 310, my all-time favorite and first twin-engine airplane. I've always wanted one. Now, over the years, in my modeling, about the only 310 available was one by Top Flight years ago, and it was huge. It was a monster. You know, couldn't afford it at the time. Right now, I still can't. But Dynam came out with this, and for the price of it, I waited almost 2 months for this to be delivered. Like I said, this is version 3. Version 1, when it first came out, it was a great flying plane, but it had a lot of flaws in it. And one of the guys at the airfield had one, and I thought it was the prettiest thing in the air. But one thing I noticed about it, every time it passed by the sun, you can actually see the light pass through the wings. And whenever he did maneuvers or coming in for landing, had a serious wing flex. Those wingtip tanks they would bend upward. So which means that was a danger of having wing failure. But Dynam has corrected a lot of that stuff with version 3. 10 years ago, or should I say 5 years ago, they came out with a version 2. Those defects were also corrected. Oh, can't forget the landing gear. Dynam always had problems with their landing gear. Now, with version 2, they corrected the landing gear by putting in much better gear. And they put heavier spar into the wing so that to eliminate that wings flex. And it also came in red and silver. It was nice. I didn't care for the red and silver color, so I stuck with the blue, because I plan on doing a little paint scheme on it myself anyway. So anyway, now we have the version 3, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna take my gloves off because my hands are just a wee bit chilly. I've been out here for a while. Version 3 has a much more improved model. First of all, we're going to pull this one out. This is the fuselage. Wonder if I can turn you guys. Let me double check the camera real quick first. Hold on. Yeah, it was off a little bit. I'm gonna tilt it up a little so you guys can get a better view of this. There we go. How's that? Okay. This is the fuselage. Now, I had to open up the fuselage to take a look last night because I wanted to see what this looked like and check out all the improvements. But like I said, I waited almost 2 months for this to get back in stock. I haven't seen any videos about it on YouTube. Oh, look at that. I'm going to pull this out real quick so I can show you the improvements they did. Now, as always, Dynam doesn't pack their stuff in foam. They got these plastic bags and boxes, which does a pretty decent job. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. You know what? I was thinking about repainting this, giving it a new white coat, but this has a great looking finish on it. A real good looking finish. The nose is a little crimped, but I think we can get by that. Now, here's one of the things they improved on. Remember on the original and the version 2, it had load the battery in from the hatch on the bottom? Well, now they got a hatch on the top. Now, last night I did find something wrong, which always happens with Dynam stuff. There's some flaws. Once you get past the flaws and the other bugs, you got a great plane. The block for the latch, yep, you got a latch at the top now, a hatch. The latch for the hatch, the block on it came out. So I pulled it out and it looked like it hadn't even been glued in. So I put some glue in and set it so that it's it. Now, like I said, you got a hatch at the top now where you can get to your battery and everything else. And as you can see, the battery now lies in. It has a battery tray. It's got some nice straps to hold it in. Now you might want to put some Velcro or something down here so it can help hold the extra on the battery. Now you got your little circuit board here for the gear and the lights. Wow, that's a nice improvement right there. That alone is a big difference. That alone is big. Got a little glue flack on there. We're clearing that away. Yeah, that little latch that holds in the canopy. That's nice. So, and it's got a tongue and groove. Got your tongue here, slides in, and then the latch. So, that's a big improvement right there. Hats off to Dynam. And I was looking for, this is pretty sturdy. I was looking to see where it could be fuselage could be reinforced, and it looks to be pretty secure. They even got a couple of carbon rods, flat rods here, and the whole fuselage seems to be very sturdy. No flex like Dynam usually has in their stuff. And also another improvement, the landing gear is way better. This looks like it's some kind of machine. Well, it's got a machine part here, and then look down, but the gears is way better. They even got a little door here. So that's score 1 right there for Dynam. Let's put this hatch back on and look at the other parts. So that hatch is holding nicely after I re-glued it, even though it wasn't glued in the first place, but it's okay now. Let's see what this other box has. Like I said, my shop is still under construction, so that's why I'm out here where I have some room and some light to show you guys everything what's going on. We have some more connectors, and we got the spinners here. That's pretty good. I'll lay those right here. Oh, you're gonna like this, guys. Look at this. Here's your spinners. You know, I don't know why I didn't get extra spinners, but I did. But look at the spinners. The spinners are now, the tips are painted. When did Dynam ever paint the tips of their propellers? They never did. Don't you love that? Big improvement there, number 2. Keep it up, Dynam. You're doing a good job. And let's see what we got here. Ooh. Now to get. Remember the The horns for the rudder and elevator, they had that, well, let's just say it didn't have a backing plate on it. And it just had one of those, I call them suicide links, just like a friend of mine, Visualize, used to say. That's one of those where it had the rod go through the brass fitting and you tighten down the screw at the top. I call those suicide links because they always came loose. And if you didn't put Loctite down on them, they would come loose. Sometimes even with the Loctite, they still come loose. But now, they got ball link hinges. Ball link hinges! And they got plates to go behind it as well, too. Talk about a big improvement. Wow. And of course they give you your glue and some more screws and even a little Allen wrench too. So, wow. Dynam's doing great right there. I have to admit, I am very happy with this plane. When I pulled it out the box, when I got it Monday, I was very happy to see it. And it made me so happy. I jumped for joy. Let's see what we got here. Because I didn't know how UPS worked in this area, but FedEx delivered all this. Because at that apartment that I was in East Cleveland, yeah, thank God I'm out of that apartment in East Cleveland. Oh my God. I truly had porch pirates there too. So I had to stop ordering stuff and had it delivered to my brother's house. And I just had to drive across town to go get it. Let's see, here's the rudder. And of course there's that nice paint job too. I'm not going to waste time pulling it out of the plastic. I'm going to leave it in here because, like I said, I'm not going to put this together yet. My shop isn't done. But hopefully in the next spring I'll be able to pull a lot of stuff, get a lot of stuff done, get some shop work done, and get these planes going again. And of course the hinges are all those foam hinges. Always best to put the little tape down up in here, or some guys even use the hot glue to strengthen that. So I'll be doing that too with that. So then we got the elevator. Oh, and look at this. I see a rod going through the elevator. And this elevator is pretty sturdy too. Nice. Now when I had my Hellcat, when I got the elevator, the end of the elevator was bent upward. Like I said, one of the quirks of Dynam, of course. And I had to put some weight on it. Drill a hole through put some weight on it to straighten it out. Drill a hole through it and put a rod into it to keep it straight. And that was the only way I was able to straighten that out, because no matter how much I tried to bend it back, it did not work. So, but this looks real good. There's your elevator. You know what? I think I'll open this so you guys can see. I got my little cutter here because this is some hard plastic. I have to admit, I tried opening it before without it, and it was tough. So they skimped on putting foam in, but they put the hardest plastic bags in here they could find. There we go. Oh, that looks so nice. Yep. You gotta work. Remember, don't forget, when you come to these foam hinges, you gotta work it. You gotta work it to get it loosened up and get it ready. So don't forget to do that, guys. Like I said, the finish looks great. I mean, the finish is well painted. I'm not even going to have to paint this. I still want to put my own design on it because I've seen several other pictures of the Cessna 310 with different designs, and I want to put a design on mine too. So because I don't want to use the decals they provide. No, they're nice. I still have other plans. So I'm sure you understand. Let's put this away. Ooh, look at this. These are the fuel tank. These are the wingtip tanks. Let's open that up. Where's the end? Here we go. This is like a better end to cut open. There we are. look like they came out in pretty good shape. Whoop, slipping off, getting away from me. They look like they came out in good shape. Now I've heard a lot of people ask, what are those on the wing tips when it came to the Cessna 310? And as you can see, it even has a nav light here. That's what this line is, to hook up the nav lights. Now on the real Cessna 310, these are the main tanks. The main tanks, I believe, hold about 50 gallons each, 50 gallons of fuel each. And they had a 30-gallon reserve tank that's in the wing. So, and from what I understand, the Cessna 310 had a speed and range. So you can fly all the way to Cuba and back. There was a story about that, about a Cuban guy from Cuba who escaped, a military guy, pilot, and well, that's a story for another time, because like I said, out here it looks like it's going to rain, and I want to beat it. I want to, let's see, we'll put this back in here. Like that. I'm tucking all this back in because I'm not going to be putting it together anytime soon until my shop is finished, my new workshop. I was able to get rid of the groundhogs that found their way into the basement. And now I got a lot of cleanup to do where you can see where they excavated. And hopefully this month I'll also be putting in a new washer and dryer. There'll be no more laundromat for this guy. There's your instructions. Like I said, there's that nice pretty decals here, which I might use some, but I'm not going to use them all, because like I said, I'm going to have my own paint scheme. I'm still going to use the blue, and looks like dark blue. I thought it was black. Look, it's dark blue. Might be black. I don't know. I'm colorblind, so let's put that aside. And let's see here. Looks like that's falling apart. This has to be the main wing. This has to be the wings. Come on out of there. Oh yeah, that's the main wings. These are the wings. I'm going to take this out of the plastic so you guys can get a better view of it, okay? Give me a second. Let me find my cutter. Alright, a little tough here. That's why I came outside to do all this, because I got no room in the house. I still got, would you believe I still got stuff still packed up from where I moved last year? It's a slow going process. So you gotta bear with me, guys. Yeah, that's a nice paint job. Like I said, I won't even have to repaint the fuselage or the wings. This is a nice paint job. Now on the real Cessna 310, these nacelles, the back half of it, was storage area. They actually opened up. You can put luggage or anything else in there, and just make sure it was locked in flight, because you don't want it to pop open and you lose all your luggage. Let's turn it over here. Oh, this has some weight to it. It's not flimsy. Even the wing is sturdy. I can't flex it. They must have, let's see, I already think they got one. Oh,